Hey, I'm
Yes,
Nick
Amy.
Williams. I'm here with Ritchell Gantalao. We're going to talk about telemarketing. We're going to discuss it from the Filipinos' perspective, but this is helpful to agents so that they can understand how to better work with Filipino telemarketers. And we're going to cover a lot of other things. And we're going to discuss with Ritchell Gantalao a program that she's developed to help train telemarketers, Filipino telemarketers specifically, to be effective phone pros for Americans. So, how are you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
So, it's been a few years because we've done this once before, haven't we?
Yeah, not just few, I guess 4 years to be exact. I was notified of the fourth anniversary 2 days ago.
Yes. So, well, it's come a long way since then. I
Yes.
want to get to the actual helpful information for agents, but I do want to point out what I'll call the human interest story. You started as
Mhm.
a telemarketer, correct?
Yes, yes.
And that progressed through. Tell me some of the things, or tell the viewers some of the things that you've done for us over those years as in the
Okay.
progression.
So I started as an appointment setter, and then after 3 or 6 months, I guess, I was given more tasks, managing social media accounts, YouTube channel, video editing,
Mm-hmm.
a part of it animation, and
Yes,
even told me to make an app at some point, and then
yes,
managing chatbots,
yes,
designing websites, doing all those codes and stuff. It was
yes,
an amazing journey.
yes. And for those watching, this is a testament. You get somebody, you may start them as a telemarketer, but your business is going to grow, and if you have a VA that's telemarketing, that person can grow with you. And Rachel, I remember I used to throw everything at you, and you would say, "Well, I don't know, I've never done that before." And what did I say?
Yeah, and you would say you can do it. And I could still remember a week wherein you told me, okay, you don't have to do calls for the whole week. Just go to this paid training and learn as much as you can, and then apply it to what I want you to do.
Yes,
And I learned valuable skills, so
yes,
it helped
and
me a lot.
yes, and you in that period of time, you also have a master's degree, is correct?
I did.
Yes, and you've also moved to another country. You
Yes, I'm now here in New Zealand. So after a master's degree, after 3 days, I moved here right away.
yes. Do you think you'll ever go back to the Philippines to live?
I'm not sure, perhaps.
Perhaps. Interesting question. But anyhow, so so the important thing, there's a couple things I want to point out. Number
Mhm.
one is that what is the Filipinos' perspective on working for an American? It's like, how desirable of a position is that to get that telemarketer's job? How important is that?
It's really important and desirable, certainly, because, for example, in our setup, that appointment setter would work directly to that agent. And $3 per hour is a good thing. Because in the Philippines, going from your home to your workplace with all the traffic and spending money, and perhaps that person has to walk. But if that appointment setter or that VA has all the setup at home, working home base is really a desirable thing.
Yes, and most of
Ideal.
them. Go ahead.
It's very ideal, sorry.
Yes. Well, and there's a couple reasons I mentioned that is because sometimes you'll get an American who's like they may get on their high horse and say, "Oh, you're taking advantage of cheap labor," and I'm going to address that as well. But no, it's not taking advantage of cheap labor. That helps the agent, a new agent, but more so that you're helping feed a family. Would you agree with that?
Yes, yes, Ernie, yes. In the pipeline right now, I have people who just leave their jobs, and even as a student would work full time in our system because the pay is really good. They
Mm-hmm.
get paid 24,000 a month. And if you're working in a call center in the Philippines, you only get half of it. It's
Yes.
a really good one, and you just stay at home. You don't have to make yourself beautiful. You don't have to pay for your lunch in the cafeteria at work and pay for gas. You don't have
Yes.
all these problems. It's really ideal. So no, it's not about taking advantage about cheap labor.
How about the roosters? What about the roosters?
Okay, so if an agent would really want an appointment setter with zero noise, like about the roosters, that's not achievable,
I'm
but
joking.
it can it can be minimized. It can be
Yes, yes.
minimized. Yes.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But hey, once in a while there'll be a rooster in the background. But you know what? It's never stopped. It's never stopped somebody from getting appointments. Never.
No,
Never. It's
no.
never. And I imagine every once in a while somebody will be like, "Is that a rooster in the background?" It's so
Funny.
funny. Okay, but let's get down to business. All right.
Okay.
So the telemarketers, it's important for them to get this job. So we are
It is.
helping Filipinos when we get this, as we're helping ourselves, because you, the agent, you need to have an affordable lead source, and this is it. But on top of that, you've got to give bonuses. Right, Ritchell, you
Yes.
ended up making more per hour. I think you were at $5 per hour, and then you got
Mm,
bonuses, and then you moved,
mhm.
and then so there's a progression, and now it's
Yes, there is.
we don't need to discuss what your compensation is now, but it certainly is a different dynamic at play now,
Yes.
and and you're designing and building your own programs for us, and
Hmm.
so I do want to. So the point is, you got to pay. If you got somebody who's talented, you got to pay to keep them. And
Yes.
the benefit is, and Rochelle, you can interject as need be, but you get a telemarketer
Hmm.
that is at low cost. You build a lead system. You start growing. You get more business, and you potentially. Your Filipino may want to always be a telemarketer, but you have the potential to have a Ritchell Gantalao if you're as lucky as I am, Ritchell. so,
Yes, that's correct.
so now we have a training program, and this is important. It's not just about our training program, but we have a training program where we teach the Filipinos pretty much everything they need to know to be a quality telemarketer. Tell us about one of the things I want to point out about that program. Tell us a little bit about the program first, Ritchell.
Okay, so from the very beginning, like on the background, I just want also to explain that these people who will be entering that program or that training has been screened to the details from their Wi-Fi, the capability of their laptop, the quality of their headsets, their command of the English language, and also their confidence, things like that. That has been screened out. I have a lot of process up to the interview part and after the interview part, and that's when they get into the training program, which is the
Hmm.
Phone Pro University. So once they get in, they have the ability to improve their speaking or the mastery of the script,
Hmm.
and how to build effective communication with their agents, how to edit some files that is needed, how to get data from Sales Data Pro and Prospect Boss, and they can visit that one anytime
Yes,
during their as they
and
work.
and also they do the I know Tim has spent a lot. Tim James, our associate, has spent a lot of
Mm-hmm.
time phonetically
Mm-hmm.
pronouncing the script in a very clear manner, and that they must listen to this, and they have to, so that every syllable is pronounced clearly in the way that an
Mm-hmm.
American would receive that and think that perhaps this is somebody of foreign descent that speaks with an accent. That's
Mm-hmm.
all. That's our objective. So, but you said something before. All that other screening is prior to ever getting into Phone Pro University, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes, and I can attest that Ritchell is all over this, and there's a lot of communication with the agents. Let's talk about communication,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you can use the communication we've established in the past as a baseline. But tell
Mm-hmm.
me about the importance of communication, and let me qualify this for agents that are watching. This isn't just about our program. This is if you are working with a foreign telemarketer, it's applicable. Everything here is applicable to whatever the situation is. So this isn't just about us, okay, or the program we have. But Ritchell, can you elaborate on that?
Okay, so when I started as your appointment setter, you call me every day or almost every day, even
Yes,
twice in a day.
yes.
And it really helped me a lot to get connected into what you were doing because it feels like, okay, I'm not just someone behind a screen or a face in a crowd of all appointment setters in the whole world working
Hmm.
for someone, for a foreigner. I know that this person cares for me. So I've gotten to the point, Serenique, that I'm not just working because I get paid, but I'm working because, okay, this person is really great and I want to contribute to what he's doing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that was me because you communicate with me effectively, you care, and there are times that I would really work even though I'm sick, and you would call in, oh, your face, what's happening? That's okay. You can actually take a day off. You're not a
Yes.
robot. So it was
Yes.
very important.
And I would, one other point that I'll make for people working in this program, you can't just stop working. One thing I did not do is I didn't say, hey, we're not working this week. No, we're not working next week. Hey, we're going to take this month off, because that would be very disruptive, correct?
Hmm. Yes, it is unique.
But agents will do that, won't they?
Oh, yeah, I've heard there was about a few cases of that happened, and
Yes.
that's a
Yeah.
really sad thing.
Yeah, it's actually more than a few, as I've seen it in different scenarios where an agent they'll go through the AEP, which is,
Hmm.
remember that period from October to December, and they'll say, well, I'm just going to
Hmm.
take off through till the first of the year. Well, yeah, they want to stop working at Christmas time. So they make all their money, and then the telemarketer doesn't have, any money coming in on Christmas. So that's
And the
not good.
things are unique, they cannot have that the same telemarketer when they get back next year because
Right.
that person needs a job, and the appointment setter is under the impression that she would actually be working for that agent long term, and now that she would just be told, okay, no work for now for 2 months.
Hmm. Yes, right. Exactly. That's tough. That's real tough. And, it's, you could do that and you can get another telemarketer, but you're always going to be starting over, and it takes a little bit of time to get for a telemarketer to get acclimated. I tell the agents, Ritchell, that it may not be perfect up front, right?
Hmm.
To say the least.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just
Yes.
not perfect. We do
Hmm.
our best, but it's just like agents. Sometimes an agent is trained and then, it doesn't work out. Actually, it's quite more frequently that an agent doesn't work out than a telemarketer, to be honest with you, Ritchell. But
Hmm.
sometimes it doesn't work, but our policy is to get somebody else in there. And how quickly can you bring an agent to the market?
That'll be within 3 business days for me.
Within 3 business days. We've always been very, very good at that. I don't think it even needs to be 3 days. I'm just saying, I don't think that every agent's like, got to have it. Most of the time, Ritchell, when I talk to an agent, they're like, well, next week's fine,
Hmm.
if you
Yes.
recall, and, because you've spoken with agents and dealt with the agents before, they're
Hmm.
generally not as much in a rush as we are, you know?
No, no. But we want to be effective and fast. That's why.
Yes. So the training, let's get to that training. It has, okay, you
Mhm.
have, all right. So we'll call it the linguistics, the tonality.
Mhm.
That's a big deal. It's training on the scripts that they're going to use. That's of
Mhm.
course a big deal. It's interacting with the agent and expectations, how they
Yes.
get paid, right? How they
Mhm.
get paid.
Yes.
And then also, uh,
Reports.
reports to the agent, for the agent, and for us, so that we
Yes.
can back the agent up, or the telemarketer, and then also
Yep.
how to use the tools that we have that support the agent, the tools that we promote. So we
Mhm.
support the agent. And what programs is it that we use, Ritchell?
That would be Prospect Boss, Sales Data Pro, and we also have our CRM, the Webster CRM.
Webster CRM, yes. And so this is thorough, very thorough. Would you agree?
Yes, it is. It is unique.
And that program, they get a certificate, right?
Yes, they do.
Yes, that's a nice thing, isn't it?
It is.
And it's paid. They get paid for going through it. And so if they qualify to be able to go through it, so if they have
Mhm.
if they have the ability to communicate effectively, for starters, then we'll let them go through the program, Phone Pro
Mhm.
University, and then upon completion of that, they get a certificate. And
Yes.
yeah, that's a big deal for them. Would you say?
It is. Yes, it is unique, and they can go back to that anytime. And also, that does not definitely replace my coaching. I also make coaching sessions, especially in their first week, to solidify everything that they've learned.
Yes. What happens after this? What happens after? What do you do for the agent after the telemarketer is placed with the agent? What are you doing in the background to keep that going, that relationship?
Okay, so what's happening after the one? There's a lot in the background. Once they finish the program and there's an agent, I link the two of them. I I would ask questions from the agent, everything that's needed on their first day. Because even if they would fill out the form about which counties to dial and all this login information, sometimes there would be mistakes. So I would verify that one and inform the appointment setter that she's now been linked, and these are the things that she needed to do. Communicate with the agent first, be on time and before on the start day, because normally we start at 9 a.m. US time of an agent. We
Mm-hmm.
do have a meet and greet video call. So, and I'm in that call as well. The agent and the appointment setter would see each other for the first time on that call. It's just about a 5 to 7 minute call, and then the
Yes.
appointment setter would work right away just to establish that, hey, you're not just a caller, you are a person. We
Yes.
value you as a human being in this program, in this business. That's what's happening.
Because we have enough, we've had so many people go through this.
Mhm.
The agents that don't communicate, they generally don't succeed, do they?
No, no, it's fun. It's funny, Sonique, how there's really a correlation when it comes to that. Because I
Yeah.
could tell you right now, perhaps you're not aware of this yet, but there we have top two telemarketers like on the very top. They're just like racing each other up whether who gets paid more for that week. Because last
Right.
week
Yes.
there's this one telemarketer who got paid twice as much last week. So instead of 120 US dollar a week, she got paid $300. That was twice as much. And then just yesterday, she was told by the agent, okay, I have so many leads right now, just take a day off. But you could see that even behind that success, I'm in the group chat, all right? So the appointment setter would greet every time. During her breaks, she would inform the agent, and the agent would say, oh, good morning as well. Go, go, get it
Yes.
rolling, get more
Yes.
money, get us more
Yes.
money, go get some leads, things like that. And not just that, there's this coolest agent, really. And I'm speaking now about another appointment setter. Every day, the agent would say, okay, the name is Angeli, but we have a lot of Angeli, so I cannot pinpoint who it is.
Yeah, and we don't want
And
to. The names are not
yeah,
important. Yeah.
yeah, names are important, but the agent would say, "Hey, Angeli, you know what? As soon as you get five leads today, the sixth and the seventh and onwards, you will get $2. Come on, girl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you more money. Come on, your check will be
Yes.
so big this Friday." So they communicate well. They
This
motivate.
on the other side of the equation, which you don't see as much, Ritchell, is that this is about the least costly lead that exists for an agent. And
Hmm.
we have agents that work in phone sales and face to face that have built careers on this, and other
Hmm.
agents aren't even in the ball game. It's crazy. It really is. Here's this incredible lead source that exists. I mean, every agent should be doing it. And now I'm promoting, but I can't help it. If you're an agent, you're watching this, come on, wise
Hmm.
up. If you need leads, if you don't need leads, and you don't, this is a good human interest story as well, I would say.
Mhm.
And, but Ritchell, I don't want to go in circles on the program. I think we've explained it fairly accurately.
Yes.
But I just want to say that I appreciate you, and for all the world to hear.
Thank you.
But you do a great job, and those watching can see the professionalism that is that exists here. And let's see, Ritchell, what else do you want to add to this?
Okay, the thing that I was thinking about before you even asked that one, to add up, especially in the first week, that is very critical. The appointment setter knows that.
Yes.
So from all the reports, I get an overview of a report each day, and I will take a look. Is she on time? Is the quality of her phone calls, even though if it's not a lead, is it maintained? Like, does she speak promptly, on time, respond right away? Is there no talking behind that microphone that
Right.
the
Yes.
appointment setter
Chatter
is
in the
using?
background. Yeah.
Yes. Does she inform the agent on time that she's on break? Is she back from break on time?
Hmm.
Is the report complete? Is the recordings there? So there's a lot going on in that first week in the background that makes everything efficient. So that's just what I was gonna add up.
There's a couple of things I'll add here. That when a telemarketer is not working out, and I say this is when the agent isn't following up, that telemarketer, if you don't follow up, number one, they don't think you care about them.
Uh-huh.
And they don't really care about you all that much either, right? So it's a mutual thing.
It
So
is.
they may not even be working when they're supposed to be dialing, because you don't communicate with them. When it's late, they're going, and this is a credit to all these telemarketers. They're going to work at 9 p.m. just on average, say from Eastern Standard Time. It's typically a 12-hour swing. So at
Mhm.
9 a.m. here is 9 p.m. there. So at 9 a.m. when I'm going to work, I'm hopefully going to work a lot earlier than that each day, but I hope you are too. But they're instead of going to bed, they're going to work at the same time, but it's 9 p.m. at night. So
Mhm.
that's again a testament to their work ethic. But they also if you're not in communication with them and they don't really care about you, there's more likelihood that they're not going to perform. They could be
Oh, we have
sleeping.
addressed that one, Srini.
Oh,
We
really?
have addressed that one. Okay, so here's the thing. On part of the training, and it would be reiterated all over again and again every day, that they have to respond to all the messages in a 15-minute window unless they're on their break. There's no reason. So
Yes.
if they keep failing the standard that I have set to them, that's a problem between me and the appointment setter. So
Yes.
yeah, those have been addressed to the dot, to the details.
Good, good. I don't even know what it's going on in the program completely, because you and Tim are running it, and I'm just in the background more so on that particular program. But it's a whole new dynamic. It's a
It
whole
is.
new dynamic on it, and I know it's like this. This is I intended this to be more of a conversation with you, Ritchell, just about telemarketing in general. It's turned into more of a presentation on our program, and
Mhm.
I didn't even intend for that, but it's just so amazing. And
Yes, Rini, because you don't know about the details because
yes,
you're
I'm
top
learning
class.
stuff now, but it is that good. And
It is.
what more can you say? And it just keeps getting better. And
Yes, it does.
yes, it really does. And phone sales is exploding because
Hmm.
because of the virus. It's just phone sales have exploded, and
Hmm.
that's all there is to it. So this puts the agent, you know, at the forefront again. Whether even
Hmm.
if it's face to face, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Phone sales, face to face. We have agents that are crushing it regardless, and we have this incredible program that brings these leads at an ultra competitive price point. So there's not really much more to say. Ritchell, I said this before. Let's see. Final words. What are your final words of advice?
Words of advice. I think I would give words of advice in a standpoint, Sir Nika, of how I feel about it. The
Mhm.
program is really well thought of with the help of Tim as well and your valuable advice and suggestions.
Yes.
And I'm really proud of it.
Yes, I know, I
I'm really
know.
proud of
And you
it.
should be. And we don't get many complaints. We've had a couple people. There's always going to be some sore customers here or there, but they come few and far between. Would you agree?
Yes.
And I
Oh, I
bet,
mean, since the program started, no, less. I don't think there has been a complaint since the
ah,
everything has been established, like the system when I got in.
yes, there have been a couple, but usually
Mm,
it's when they say, you know what, it's just not working for me. They usually don't
okay.
say the program's no good. I think we've had one or two or maybe three in years because we've been doing this program for years, but no, they
Hmm.
don't complain. And I'll tell you something, I've been running this same system for a dozen years. And I think you know that, Rachel,
Yes.
for over the years, I've been running this system. Um, Hold on a second. So um, I've been running the same presentation, the same. When I say that, I'm saying the same script, everything the same for years, and a dozen years. So it's been working. People have been. I've seen many people become wealthy because of this. So again, it's like, if you're an agent, you're watching this, you should pay attention from the standpoint of participation. How's that? Well, listen, Rachel,
Yes.
I'm going to cut us off right here
Hmm.
because we've said all that needs to be said. And
Okay.
I can't get off the track of promoting the program. And I really didn't intend for that, but that's the way it is. And that's the way this video ended. So, hey, listen, I appreciate you, Rachel. I will talk to you very, very soon. How's that?
Okay, Shani.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye bye.